I worked in a 4th grade classroom with 19 students. There were 3 ELL students and 6 ELL consult students, meaning they did not get pulled for ELL services, but they were still considered ELL students. They just need adaptations in the classroom. The school was a Title I school and has 75% of the students on free and reduced lunch. About 60% of the students spoke Spanish at home, so the large majority of them were Spanish-speaking students. Of the 9 ELL students in the classroom, about 2 of them were in the emergent stages of ELL fluency, and 7 fall somewhere as intermediate fluency students. Outside of the ELL students, however, there were still students that passed tests to exit ELL but have ELL tendencies in their speech, or even sometimes I noticed in their reading. I noticed this a lot, though, outside of the classroom when I was talking to students informally. For my TWS, I created a science unit about the function of the eye and the ear, which is a 4th grade standard that students have to know. Students participated in many hands-on activities to understand the parts of the eye and the ear and their functions. Within the unit, I incorporated a lot of reading and writing, along with speaking and listening within each of the lessons. I included adaptations in my TWS and throughout my lessons all semester, such as modeling things for students such as grammar and sentence structure, modeling any of the activities and instructions that were given, defining new vocabulary terms with pictures, and I always provided these for students to put in their notebook, whether it was their science notebook or math journal, social studies notebook, reading. At times, students were given constructed responses and they were provided an option for tests to be read to them. So there were always some students that were pulled for other academic reasons that I would read the test to. So I always allowed ELL students to be a part of that. This endorsement has given me experience adapting and differentiating curriculum, but I found that it's not only helpful for ELL students, but also for students that are just achieving academically lower than their peers. All the students made a significant improvement on their pre and post tests of my TWS, and I really enjoyed getting to see the students apply the knowledge they had learned in their activities and on their test as well. For my community connection project, I really wanted to think about promoting their native language at home. So I decided to have students take books home that were both in English and in their native language. So students are already required in 4th grade to read 20 minutes every night, and I gave all the ELL students a quick reading self-evaluation and just kind of asked them what their feelings were about reading at home and how they felt about reading with family members, and just different questions about their feelings towards reading outside of the classroom and in the classroom as well, but I focused mainly on how they felt outside. I found that most of the students were okay with reading in the school, but once they had to read at home, they did not enjoy it. So I bought books that were in English and Spanish, along with Chinese and English. And then I bought picture books and chapter books so that I could meet the needs of all the students in the classroom. Students were asked to go home and read with their parents or a family member of any type, and they could read the book in their native language or they could read the book in English, but I really encouraged them to be reading the book in their native language with a family member, and then if they had time later to read it in English as well. The students could bring their book back anytime and switch it out for a new one, and they've always got really excited. It was really cool to see them get so excited about getting to bring back books and pick out a new one. It was really encouraging to see how much students were looking forward to it. I did the project for 5 weeks, and at the end I gave the same reading self-evaluation that I had given at the beginning of the project. Students' feelings of reading at home were much more positive after sending these books home. Overall, I've really enjoyed my experience in my 4th grade placement working with ELL students. Next year, I will actually be teaching at the school where I was student teaching, and so it will be a really good transition. I'll be able to apply those ELL skills of adapting the lessons to my future classroom. I plan to also use the community connection project that I tried with my students and implement that all year in my next class as well. I found students really got excited about reading at home and reading with a family member, and it really promoted the native language, which I think sometimes our students don't realize how important it is that they speak both languages. So I really enjoyed my experience in the ELL classroom that I've been in.